Hello again, and welcome to How to Write with Tania Donovan. Today we are covering questions and answers and talking points. I figured we can combine both because they're rather short. I'm also wearing a Women's Army rugby shirt because I'm still celebrating the Army win this past weekend. Army and Navy play every year, and they hadn't won they won last year, but prior to that, Army had not won in 16 years. So all Army folks out there, good win, good game with the Navy. Let's get to writing a Q&A and talking points. So all in all, Q&A is simply information post in a question in answer form. So remember the talking points that remember the fact sheet that we developed. It's going to echo a lot of that information. Really, when we look at organization and style of Q&A, we're looking at organization, style, and then the content of it, obviously. But really, it's a very simple way of answering questions. It's a very simple way of duplicating the fact sheet and the information on the background or as well, and writing a question above every item. So if you go back to my writing portfolio, like in every video, I will ask you to pull the Q&A and the talking points for the International Monetary Fund that I have up there, and take a look at the Q&A that we have there. So there's a lot to the format, there's a lot to the information, but it's really simple and to the point, and that's what you want to stick with. So rephrase to be catchier and more welcoming to the ear when it comes to the Q&A. So rephrase those talking points, make it friendly, include only the best additional material that you want from the backgrounder, not everything, and write the question in bold. So as you can see on my example, you can see that the question is in bold, and then you answer it. Make it obviously different in style so that the eye can follow that flow in the organization. Again, repeat the questions in form of a question answer, and that's really all that there is to it, to the Q&A, which is why I said it would be quick and combined with the talking points. Now that we go to the talking points, I'd ask you to pull that up from the writing portfolio as well. And what are the talking points? Let's answer that question first. Talking points are really triggers to a reader, to the whoever the representative is, maybe talking to another representative about his own organization or the agency or her nonprofit or whatever it is. They are talking points in sentences or phrases as really data chunks that would trigger memory to more information that they can expand on just naturally. So these trigger points are really the speaker can use as basis for a conversation, and that's what you're really thinking bullet form. That's really what you're going for. As far as organization, style, and content of the talking points, the rule number one is: can you understand it all at first glance? Because that's the goal here. That's what you want to accomplish. You need to be able to look at a trigger point, know what that triggers as far as memory, what kind of conversation, what topic that you have more information on, and then you can expand on it in conversation form. Also, it has to be short and to the point. So don't make a trigger point, don't make a talking point extensively with a lot of details or information. It has to be just a subject, for example. What's the topic that you want to talk about? Be able to look down, look up, and continue your conversation. Also, write for the ear. Have catchy phrases that will not only trigger your information, your memory, but also intrigue the person who's listening to you into further listening to what you're saying. White space is good, and labels are always good because it helps the eye adjust to what you're reading, and it's all accessible at a glance. So let's say, for example, one of the things that I always think of is there's a talking point that you really don't know much about and you really don't want to go into because you don't have the information, make it easily read where you can just boom, skip to the next point. You can see it at a glance. You can recognize that you don't know much about it and move on to the next point without having to scramble with your notes or read into what it is that that point is actually saying, because that will just throw you off. Keep in mind, and one thing that I took away from, among the many things that I took away from Professor Mike Long, is the way we sound affects the way people feel. So if you are all over the place trying to figure out what your talking points are, people are just going to lose interest in what you're saying. Don't do that. Get to the point, say it, engage them, and continue the conversation. So all in all, talking points give you a trigger points, trigger your memory, give you something to talk about. Stick to the single page for the document for talking points as well. And keep in mind that it's something that you want to be able to give to somebody that they can have a conversation off of, that you can help them trigger topics for the organization or the event or whatever it is, whatever the content of the paper is. But the point is to be able to give them a trigger point. And that is all in the format as well. So that is all for Q&A and talking points today. Please reference back to my writing portfolio for both documents where you can pull them up and take a look. And thanks again. Until next time, go Army.